Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Thurston County Board of County Commissioners public hearings. We have two scheduled for this Tuesday. Actually, this isn't the right date. Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. 4:24, getting a late start because of a lengthy Board of County Commissioners meeting. First up is public hearing for a telecommunications franchise agreement with Ziply Fiber Pacific LLC, doing business as Ziply Fiber. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider public comment related to the application of Ziply Fiber Pacific for a telecommunications franchise to construct, operate, and/or maintain fiber optic telecommunication lines and system facilities within Thurston County rights-of-way for the purpose of providing telecommunications services for the term of 10 years. This is a hybrid public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined by Zoom, phone, emailed in comment, or mailed in comment. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select BOCC meetings, hearings, and work session agendas. The information required to join this public hearing remotely is posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, please watch our live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Nicole Martinez, Budget Manager, will provide information on this topic. Assuming those on Zoom wish to testify, you'll have your name read aloud. You will have 4 minutes to testify. Time may not be given to another person. When called on, please state your name and address for the record. Once I open this public hearing and we complete it, there'll be a second one regarding the fiscal year 2024 HUD Annual Action Plan items. But first of all, we'll take public hearing now open regarding Ziply Fiber Pacific. Nicole will present information on the application, summarize any written comments submitted, posting requirements, and any additional information as requested by the board.
Yes. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Nicole Martinez, Budget and Fiscal Manager. I'm here today to provide background information on a public hearing for a franchise agreement with Ziply Fiber Pacific. At the conclusion of the public hearing, I'm asking that the board accept the franchise application and grant the franchise agreement with Ziply Fiber Pacific. Ziply is seeking a non-exclusive franchise agreement to construct, operate, or maintain fiber optic telecommunication lines and system facilities within Thurston County right-of-ways for the purpose of providing telecommunication services. The company does not currently have facilities in the county's right-of-ways. The company intends to build a network throughout the unincorporated parts of the county, beginning with the areas adjacent to Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater. Ziply intends to provide telecommunications and internet services with speeds ranging from 50 megabytes per second to 5 gigabytes per second. The proposed franchise is very similar to other telecommunication franchises that the county has entered into. It is for a term of 10 years and contains obligations regarding Ziply's construction and maintenance of its networks, protections against damage to the county or third party. RCW 365540 requires a public hearing to be held on franchise applications. In accordance with this RCW, notice was published twice in the official county newspaper and posted in 3 public places in the county seat. We have not received any public comment at this point. Thank you.
Questions for Nicole?
No questions.
Okay, time for public testimony. Anyone in the boardroom that would like to testify? And on Zoom. Robert Mitchell.
Roberta Berger. Jacqueline Dewey.
Can we stop sharing the screen that way?
Lead staff. I see Roberta Berger. Isn't that our artist? No. Robert Mitchell, are you here for a public testimony on this?
No, I'll pass.
Very good. Roberta Berger. No. Okay. Then is there any discussion that the board would like to have before we close the public hearing? Okay, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing is closed. Would the board like to take action on the suggested action?
I move to approve the resolution accepting the application and enter into a franchise agreement with Ziply Fiber Pacific LLC, doing business as Ziply Fiber, to construct, operate, and/or maintain fiber optic telecommunication lines and system facilities within Thurston County rights-of-way for the purpose of providing telecommunication services for the term of 10 years.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the resolution regarding Ziply Fiber Pacific. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to our second public hearing. This was regarding this is Public Health and Social Services, Fiscal Year 2024 HUD Annual Action Plan and Performance of the Washington Department of Commerce CDBG-Coronavirus Funds. I'm not going to go through it's the same advisements that we just went through. Alex Peirce will provide information on this topic, and I will then just go ahead and open the public hearing, and we'll go to Alex.
Great, thank you. Alex Peirce, Affordable Housing Program Manager. I am here today to hold this public hearing and ask you all to move to approve the resolution adopting the Fiscal Year 2024 Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan. Background on the Annual Action Plan. Thurston County receives funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for both Home Investment Partnership Program and Community Development Block Grant. These funding sources provide a variety of activities that serve low-income households and individuals. Thurston County Office of Housing and Homeless Prevention has drafted a 5-year consolidated plan, which we recently adopted for the years 2023 to 2027. And the consolidated plan identifies 4 strategic goals that are pursued over the 5-year period with these funds. So an annual action plan we draft and have approved and submitted to HUD annually. And these plans specifically identify the projects during that each program year that will be carried out with those funding sources. So for CDBG, the Community Development Block Grant funding, the annual action plan identifies activities that were selected by the City of Tumwater, and those are listed on the presentation in front of you. Our Home Investment Partnership Act program, this activity was selected by the Affordable Housing Advisory Board and our Affordable Housing Advisory and our Affordable Housing Capital request for proposal that I mentioned earlier. So in total, our annual action plan identifies $1,229,319 in CDBG funding and $857,343 in home funding. In addition to our annual action plan public hearing, we are also taking public comment on our Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus funds that were awarded to Thurston County from the Washington State Department of Commerce in 2021. Commerce awarded us $340,752 in federal Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus funds to use for activities to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus in partnership with local service providers. The county subawarded these funds to the Thurston County Food Bank to increase food assistance to low to moderate income individuals during the pandemic, and to the incident management team at Public Health and Social Services to carry out quarantine and isolation activities that leased and operated a hotel to provide space for homeless individuals to isolate and quarantine while infected with COVID-19. The food bank services served 4,991 individuals, and quarantine and isolation activities served 219 individuals. So we are accepting public comment on the performance of the CDBG-CV grant. We have not received any public comment for the annual action plan. We have a 30-day public comment period that lasts through Friday, so 6/21, June 21st. Happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Edwards, if we have an open public comment period until Friday, I guess this is kind of looking over to our county manager maybe. So would we be able to, if we decide to move forward with this, would we be able to take action on it until after Friday? I'm just a question.
Can you explain the open public comment?
So generally we do have our public comment period end the day of that we hold the public hearing, but the timing didn't work out this year. So how we usually have addressed that is if we do receive public comment after we hold this public hearing and you approve to adopt this by resolution, we would incorporate that public comment into our plan to then.
I guess it'd be a question for legal. I'm just curious. Normally, this doesn't happen. That's why I'm asking the question. So.
And we aren't required by HUD to hold the public hearing on the day of that the comment period ends. We are allowed to just hold the public hearing within the public comment period.
Yeah. Yes, I'm just wondering.
The question is, can we take the
Can we
action
take
to
an
adopt?
action after
We
we get
still have pending public comment.
so.
Could we make a motion where we adopt the resolution after the end of the public comment period?
I don't know about that. I'm a little gun shy.
Dan?
I don't know. I wish we had an attorney
We
here.
do have to have this submitted, this plan does have to be submitted by July 15th, which is also part of the reason why we're holding the
Yeah, so,
today.
I mean, we've accepted public comment after, like, we did it with the shoreline master plan, for example, right? Like, where people were still submitting comments after. like,
Forever. It'll go
yeah,
on forever.
Right, like throughout the whole process. And so I see this as just, the comments are still being submitted. We're just approving it. And if there's, how many comments do we usually get, Alex?
Maybe one, and we've had none so far.
to me, that's not the issue. I'm worried about the formality of whether or not somebody comes back and gives us a hard time. That's all. That's the only reason I raised it. I didn't even want to raise it, but something was unusual. That's all.
And are we doing this because of time frame? Did we get this late and that's why we're bringing it before the recess?
We didn't get it late, but we have to hold, with our whole plan, we have the RFP process, and then the city of Tumwater has to adopt, or the city that's choosing they have to hold their city council meeting before we can draft the annual action plan, and then we have to hold a 30-day comment period. So
Okay.
it's kind of just, it all
It's
runs pretty
timelines.
tight.
And
Yeah.
it's-
And
and
the
it's due to
process
HUD
with
before.
Tumwater took a while too, so for them to
And they
actually.
did, I'm
So
sorry,
it's not usual for us to bring something, ask the board to approve before public comment is completed.
We typically end the public comment period the day that we hold the public hearing.
But in this situation, because of the recess and because of the deadline,
And the timing and the way it is all
worked out,
Just-
right?
it ran 2 days longer.
Gotcha. So then if we do get public comment, you can circulate that to me so I can circulate it to the commissioners.
Sorry.
You're saying that we rarely get more than 1 or 2 comments,
Yes.
and that public comment could be incorporated into the plan.
Yes, we still are required to incorporate public comment into the plan, and there's a section on how we address public comment.
We're on day 27 or whatever of the comment in 0. Okay, well,
Wayne had a good idea, I thought, but I'm trying to think of the best idea to do it.
let's get through public comment and then we can discuss how to proceed procedurally. Is there anyone here who wants to testify about this?
Oh, we got.
Mr. Hannah, go ahead.
Joe Hanna, East Olympia, Washington. I would just say that process-wise, if you haven't gotten all the possible public comment that you're going to get and you make a decision without that, where's the openness and the transparency?
Anyone online who wishes to testify with regard to this topic? Okay, is there a motion to close well, I guess we can discuss public comment or the issue that we've got, or we can close the public hearing and discuss the potential action.
Move to close the public hearing.
I would move to, can we close the public hearing until, I guess in the circumstance, I'm asking for clarification before you make that motion of, would we have to close it until Friday? Because that's the last day that we're accepting public comment technically.
Someone would have to close it.
Yeah, Rob, go ahead.
So a potential suggestion, commissioners, would be to close the verbal testimony today, but leave the written record open till the close of the comment period on Friday, and then direct staff to incorporate any additional comments into the plan prior to submitting it to HUD.
I just think I wish I wouldn't have even said anything, I guess, but.
So I move to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second to close public hearing. Discussion on that motion?
We're closing the public, I just want to clarify, we are closing the public hearing. We're not closing any public comment period. We still will be accepting public comment through the week. And those public comments will be incorporated into the plan. So there's a difference between the public hearing and the public comment period.
Okay, all in favor of the motion to close public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? that motion is done. So now we have the possibility of an action as suggested by the Assistant County Manager, which is basically how I would have assumed that we would be proceeding if we're allowed to proceed or if we decide to proceed. Someone want to make that motion, or do we want
do
to
my
further
best.
discuss?
Well, we can discuss once we make the motion. So I move to approve the resolution adopting fiscal year 2024 Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan and authorize the Chair of the Board of County Commissioners to sign the HUD Form SF-424 and approve submission of the plan to HUD and authorize the Interim Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the applicable program certifications and home and CDBG and subrecipient contracts and amendments that do not exceed 10% pending the closure of the public hearing on Friday.
I have, sorry, I just noticed, it says the chair of the board. I know, Chair, that you're going to be out for a couple of weeks. Do we need to delegate that to the vice chair?
Where does it say the Chair of the Board? Oh, I see.
Yeah, and authorize the chair of the Board of County to sign the HUD.
Can I sign that form today?
That was my expectation.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure that if,
Yeah, Commissioners, I apologize if this one is a bit messy. We weren't tracking that the comment period, it didn't come up this morning or the other, or agenda reviews. But yeah, I would say that you,
I think just for it to be clear, the vice chair signs it
Yeah.
on Friday once the public comment ends. That way there's, everyone has a chance to see it, and the chair is not signing something before we've received all the public comment in. But that's up to you, Chair. I'm just, if you want to sign it today.
One thing we do have is electronic signature ability with authority.
Does it need to be the chair, or can it be the vice chair? Just a delegate? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
yeah, we are, I think we're getting a little bit out of our depth here from a,
I apologize. I was just,
yeah,
if it's an electronic signature, I mean, if that's allowed.
Point of needing some legal advice, just to make sure we're not running aground here. This is a document that goes to HUD, so I'd hate for us to, I don't know if we want
Can we take a 5-minute break
to, yeah,
while,
let us contact.
Chair, is that okay?
We have a motion on the floor.
It's
Is
not
it
seconded.
dying without a second?
Yeah,
Or-
there's no second on it.
Are we gonna pause on the motion?
The motion's been made. There's no second yet. We're gonna pause this meeting for 5
minutes. Let us
or so
come.
minutes or so in recess to try to see if we can get clarity from
Yep.
prosecuting attorney.
Yep, the clerk and I will step out and make a phone call.
Phil, it might not amount to anything, but
It won't.
more than likely not,
Yeah,
unless somebody bitches or something. And we got 15.
Usually, like, I
Cross the
have to
eyes.
sign that, like,
Somebody's,
She's saying only the chair can sign it. So they delegate this to the vice chair.
What'd you come to give us the Dickens for? What are you giving us the Dickens on? Anything special?
Okay, we are back from a short recess. There's a motion that was made by Commissioner Fournier. I'm going to second the motion. And so we're going to discuss the proposed motion to adopt the resolution. I will remain as the motion can remain unchanged. I can authorize on Friday, if warranted, the signature by or through our electronic signature policy. And so is there any discussion on this motion?
So we had a question.
Prosecuting was not available to provide any guidance, so we're
For the whole team, we called several of them. They're all out of office currently.
basically at the same understanding, but we have to have this submitted, so.
And if this motion passes, the resolution would take effect after the closure of the public comment period.
Sounds like it.
The way you phrased it, I
Yes.
believe that's correct.
Yeah.
All right, so with no further discussion, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. No problem. That was a good question.
Wayne, I apologize to you too.
No, I have no idea what the hell.
He's been raising hell.
I had no idea. I was just gonna talk.
Terrorizing.